Hey everyone, welcome back. We took a week off last week because there really wasn't that much to talk
Nope.
about. This week, we don't have too much to talk about,
Nope.
but there was what is it? Sony's State of Play that just happened a few days ago. What was it, on the 24th on Wednesday? Some pretty cool stuff. It
Yeah.
was a smaller
One
event.
big, yeah, one big game that looks amazing. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that
we will talk about that
before
because I
we.
actually want to get your opinion on that. I probably have like a different opinion than most people.
Oh, okay. Another
Yeah,
thing too, before we get into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is out.
it
Go
is.
by reviews. It is better than Mario Kart World. Well, at least in some regards. And we'll talk about that real quick. Customization, which is something it's really good at. Customizing. Let's say you have a big bulky dude, you can make him better at handling, et cetera, et cetera. Other kart racers do that. Nintendo's always kept their. Make no mistake, Mario Kart World's a really good game. Its presentation's top tier. The music's top tier. I love it. But as I've told you guys many times, especially Jared, like with Animal Crossing, with all this, Nintendo plays it safe too much with their games, and they don't really go into. Maybe the Sonic Racing will put a light under their fire because it's actually doing really good. So that's great. It's cross-platform on everything. But what I mean talking about is you don't really have a lot of depth on Mario Kart. I mean, you pick your racer, which really doesn't do any stats, but the kart, right? You can't customize stuff, and I think a lot of people love that. And I don't know, man. I know we beat a dead horse all the time, but like just all their other series, it's just they improve them. I'm not gonna say they don't, but they just don't. They don't. I don't know. It's you know what I'm talking about. They just don't evolve it or innovate enough anymore. They just say it works. It works. It sells like pancakes. Why bother? I guess. I mean, that's a really good business decision. Sometimes changes, by the way, Jared, doesn't work and it backfires, but usually companies don't do drastic things. But no, if you get the demo, Jared, try it out. There's a free demo online. It's worth your time, especially you're not really much of a kart racer, so maybe you won't like it. But the things of like just that's one aspect of it. I'm not going to really spend too much time, but the customization is something I really want to see more in Nintendo
Yeah,
games.
you're
And
so funny. So, ladies and gentlemen,
well, why am I funny, Jared? Do I not make valid?
because so the last one, Sonic Team Racing, in its lifetime sold 3.5 million copies.
Yeah, that's
Mario
nothing.
Kart
We're not talking.
sneezes
Yeah,
and it
no, no.
sells
They're
more
just like,
than that. But that's
oh
my
no, I
point.
understand.
But that's the whole point.
They don't have to
They
change. Is
don't
what you're
want
saying.
to change any of
But
these
isn't it
things.
a pride thing? Don't you want to make the best product possible to beat the competition when there really isn't, I guess, competition?
But
But that,
that's the thing. They are beating the
so
competition.
like we were talking about before, is we're going to talk about the state of the company about how I hate remakes because remakes are coming out and they're charge. I don't. We don't know the prices offhand, but they're charging premium prices like the Mario Galaxy games. Two old games. No, no disrespect, they're great games. For $70 is ridiculous. And I keep telling Jared and I give him links about how they are selling pre-orders through the roof.
Yes. So
So
what does that
people,
tell you?
stop it, stop it. When will you learn? When will you learn? But I
So
told you though. I told you, Jared, the ones that are complaining online are a very small minority. Bulk of people are not online. They're not on Reddit. They're not
no,
posting YouTube
that's the
comments.
point.
And
Exactly.
and they're never. It's not going to change. But
No, because it
yeah.
doesn't it
Anyways,
doesn't need to, because clearly they're giving people what they want. Obviously,
just
if they
yeah. And
weren't
Steven's right.
giving people what they want, they wouldn't be selling.
Exactly.
I do have to make one little warning to everybody. Apple released
Oh yeah, you're going to talk about that?
no. It's about the video.
Oh,
So Apple released their big, like whatever, all their iOS, their Mac OS, their iPad OS, every OS. So basically, my entire house upgraded. Like I think it was last week. I want to say it was on Tuesday, but I was sick this week, so it may have been the week before. And there's a pretty big bug that's made it into their OS. So if you're watching this and you see it a little bit choppy, like what just happened as I did that,
yeah, I just saw it.
That has to do with the OS. There's something right now with like video, any video, anything, watching a
Yeah, you're
video,
actually you get
like
laggy. Yeah.
it's not even laggy.
All right.
This is the actual recording. This is not the internet. So I'm just letting everybody know, like, this is a known issue. It's all over Reddit. It's all over. So just I apologize if I'm like
Hopefully,
Transformers.
yeah, hopefully they fix it. But anyways, enough of that. We, like I said, it's a dead horse. But like Steven's correct, the market is what dictates value. And I also have to remember, this is another thing too. Value is such a personal thing, right, Jared? What you might think's worth
Yeah,
$70,
I keep
think is a
telling you,
ripoff,
I keep
etc.
saying, like, we have to stop talking about this because you're an outlier. You're not the majority. The
No, I'm
majority
not.
are willing to pay $500 for Nintendo games,
Oh, you mean like that Virtual Boy shit?
and
Oh
like,
my god.
no, but that's my point. Like, so let's move on because we're beating. Yeah, a dead horse is right.
Oh,
like,
but you
it's a
love beating dead
skeleton.
horses, Jared. You love dead horses. All right, let's talk about the bulk of the news. Oh, before we do though, a shadow drop, literally a shadow
Yeah,
drop.
literally.
This week, Fire Emblem Shadows is now on iOS and Android.
Yeah.
Mobile only, and I've played a little bit of it. It has full voice acting cutscenes. I'm telling you, Jared, the line between production of mobile games and consoles are getting extremely thin, dude, because I'm telling you, this game's production is pretty good. Now, the visuals are cutesy anime. What is it called? Baby
Chibi.
look, where they have chibi. Yeah,
Chibi. Yeah.
they have those visuals. No disrespect, they're good. But the cutscenes and voice acting, yeah, top notch. So
How is
I'll
the
definitely
actual game though? Because like I've heard
It's
heard mixed things. Like Reddit was filled with people
Well,
like saying
it
how
depends.
crap it was.
Well, it depends. If you're expecting Fire Emblem OG or traditional, no. They automatically it's mobile, guys. So it automatically moves your characters on your turn to the enemies and then the enemies move to you on their turn. It you can attack with special stuff where you take and drag and stuff like that. So it's very touchscreen mobile-esque. It is what it is, but I mean, I love Fire Emblem, so I'll definitely play it here. And it's a mobile game; it's a perfect game you can play, do a mission or two when you're on your lunch break, etc. That's what's great about mobiles, right? But yeah, I can understand if you're expecting a traditional experience, you're gonna be very disappointed. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not gonna say gameplay's optimal or awesome, but check it out, Jared. There's no reason not to. It's free to play.
Yeah. I just haven't had a chance, to be honest. I just haven't had a chance. So okay, jump into this news. Try not to read everything because
No.
otherwise you're gonna bore the hell out of everybody. If you're like, step into the boots of Dagger. Don't. What was announced?
All right, so the state of the play broadcast on Wednesday. First up, we got, well, no surprise, Battlefield 6.
Yeah.
Does it need any? That's been in the works. Is coming up on all platforms. I don't know if Nintendo's getting it, but they're pretty sure Switch 2 probably get it eventually. At least Microsoft's promising stuff. Anyways, Battlefield 6. They don't really have new information. I didn't need anything of that. They've had a beta on PC. It's really doing really well in the beta form. You see tons of streamers, content for it. It's a Battlefield, so you know what to expect. Now, that was one of the bigger games. This other one, I'm really kind of interested. It has a very unique art style. It's Chrono Script: The Endless End.
Yeah.
It's a exploration based 2D action adventure game coming from the minds of creative minds of RPG Time.
He's reading. You see, he's reading.
Well, because I want to give the verbiage, because that way people know. But yeah, it looks really cool. Have you seen the visuals? It's
yeah.
a
No,
pixel...
this was actually pretty cool, guys. Like, if you haven't had
yeah,
a
it looks
chance,
really cool.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check this out, yeah, check this out. This was actually of the whole. I almost called it a direct. Of the whole event, this was actually like kind of the biggest surprise for me. I was like, wow, that was pretty good.
Because it's a big surprise. I take it back. It's not pixel. I'm surprised. It's a handbook, kind of like you're in a book, and the book, it looks like real, crunched up papers, etc., like mud. So it looks like it's like real visuals, like I don't know what you want to call that, real live visuals with hand painted kind of cartoony. So it's really unique, guys. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. The problem is, I don't have a PlayStation. I don't think any of these games are, at least not for a while, are not coming on PC. So I'll have to let Jared have the honors in playing it,
Well,
and he'll have to
did
report it
you
to me.
actually check, man, that one? Because like,
No, I think these are all exclusives. Let
no,
me
no,
look.
man, that's what I'm saying. Check this out. It's already available on Steam. If you want
Are
to,
you sure?
yeah, positive. I'm on it. You can add it to your wish list if you want.
Ooh, I stand corrected. You're right. It isn't exclusive. Well, some of
Yeah.
them are exclusive on this list, like we'll talk about in a minute. Add it to my wish list. Cannot wait for this
Yeah,
game.
this looks
It'll be
really cool.
great.
Honestly,
Yeah.
this looks pretty cool. Most of the stuff I found, like I don't know if you actually watched the thing. It wasn't that long. I
No, it
watched
wasn't
it.
that long. I
I
just
watched it in like 1.5 or something like that, just to go quick. It's funny because before we continue, like, do you remember when Microsoft like was first getting into the console space? How there were like a lot of these American made or North American made games that just looked not I don't want to say generic, that's doing us a disservice, but like I don't know, they just didn't feel overly wow. That's kind of the sensation I got when I watched this event. Like I don't know why, it felt like an old Microsoft event where you had a lot of these other like third party games where they're you're like, "Oh yeah, that looks okay. Like it looks cool, but it's nothing wow." Like sort of deal, and like a bunch of the next games that you're gonna talk about gave me that kind of vibe. Like
yeah,
they might be great, but they just
uh,
kind of were like
yeah.
okay.
I agree. This one, Code Vein 2, which launches next year. Most of these games are next year's. It's a kind of a hack and slash
Yeah,
type game. Well, they say an action RPG, but yeah, I mean it is obviously, but I mean it doesn't look bad, guys. Check it out. But I'm with Jared. It just doesn't look like it's doing anything unique or different. And well, it is a sequel, so if you guys like the first Code, you might like the second one. So definitely didn't ruffle my feathers. But this one here, this next one up, Crimson Desert, though, is coming for PlayStation. But if I remember right, let me double check
oh,
because
I'm sure
yeah,
that's
it is.
on.
It is on PC. It's been
Yeah,
on
yeah.
PC for a while. Let me get the release date. Yeah, it was. Oh, actually, it's not. The other game that's in that series is up. But anyways, it's coming out for PC next year. This is like kind of like a MMO light type
Excuse me.
type game, stuff like this. So,
But it's a
it,
perfect example. Like that's another one where I was watching and I was like,
it,
okay, like
yeah. I mean, it has a lot going on. It's a hack and slash type game, and it doesn't look bad. But the problem with it is it's like that other desert game. And the I think believe this manufacturer or developer makes. It's just it has a dragon flying scene, these big, huge, colossal titans. But it's not any different, Jared, than the other similar games that the in the genre. And I don't know. It doesn't look bad, but yeah, it just didn't get me excited. I mean, some of the stuff does look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah,
yeah,
we'll
it's
see.
just exactly. It's so like for everybody listening, like it's one of these things where I hope you guys know what we mean. Like it's like where you're like, oh yeah, that looks good, but if I have that or another game, I'm gonna pick another game. Like it's one of these things where it's just like it looks okay type thing. Even the next game that you're gonna talk about, like I loved it back in the day,
Oh
but
yeah, everyone liked it back
but
in the
like
day.
now, I'm so fed up. Anyway, go ahead, talk about things.
So it is. Hold on a second. Why is my computer messed up? Ooh, hold on, I was going to play this up. Just another remaster of what's it called?
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex remastered announcement trailer. I know that's what I was going to say. Is a lot of it. They're showing the comparisons of the original in the trailer and the new, and yeah, it looks better, Jared. But dude, I'm telling you, okay, I guess there's a difference between. Let's talk about that. remastered and remake.
Yeah.
Remasters basically like the old code, not literally, but basically they take the old code or old game and just bump it up resolutions, enhance
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
full
yeah.
screen it.
Yeah.
But it's not a whole complete what remake. Remake is literally built from the ground up for current generation systems. So yeah, I was great back in what 2000, I believe.
God, it's a long
So
time ago. Yeah, whenever.
it was, but I mean, there's going to be a generation who never played it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
26 years ago, guys, before it comes out. It comes out next year. I kind of prefer a remake because, yeah, the visuals are better. But I mean, Jared, I'm so disappointed. This better not be a lot of money, though. This better be
Oh, don't
120
don't go
bucks.
there. It'll be at least
Yeah.
120.
Oh wow, really?
Uh, and then the next one is another
Anyways,
remaster.
well, yeah, another remaster, Destiny Warriors 3. I've never been a fan of the Destiny Warriors franchise. I know Hyrule Warriors is basically a spin-off, the same concept. And at least this one, compared to the other one, actually looks substantially good upgrade in visuals. Again, actually, it looks really good if you guys look at a comparison. But I mean, it's not night and day current gen standards, but it's very serviceable. I mean, if I were going to pick the two in sense of visuals, this is definitely the better one of the two. But we'll see. Again, it's an old game. It's just like I think you notice this trend in movies where it's like they bring up quote unquote classics to introduce to a new generation to get them hooked. So again, yeah, another remastered. If you like the first one, maybe you'll like
Yeah,
replaying it
like
again with some enhanced.
I mean these games clearly sell, right? Like there's a reason why
Yeah.
there's Fire Emblem Warriors, Hyrule
Mhm.
Warriors, every other Warriors. So I mean clearly they're, they sell, but I don't know, like I'm watching this and I'm just like, ah. And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about this next thing because like it's the 20th anniversary of God of War.
Of God of War,
And
and
that
then
seems impossible.
yeah,
It just seems absolutely impossible. I was talking to Ahmed about this, and it was like, when I think 20 years ago, I think Super Nintendo. Like my brain is like, oh, 20 years ago was the Super Nintendo. And then people are like, like, oh, Dragon Quest 7 just turned 25, and I'm like, that's not possible. Like that's impossible,
it just shows you we're getting old, man.
Oh,
Time flies.
it's crazy, man. So they announced a controller, guys. That's basically it. But
That's it. It looks cool, but
yeah, but what was kind of ridiculous? Let's go back, okay? So you get a Deus Ex remastered trailer, right? So you're like, okay, so I'm in the remaster kind of mood. Then you get Dynasty Warriors 3 remastered, which that was a big game on the PS2. That was like it introduced a lot of the modern day. I forget what that's actually called, that series, Miso or something like that in Japan. It introduced like a lot of the stuff that's still going on today in the series. And then you hear like the God of War music, and it was like, oh, okay, are we going to get like a God of War trilogy bundle remaster?
Yeah.
Because you had just talked about remasters, and then you basically just announce a controller and nothing else, and then you move on. And I was really surprised by that. I don't know. It's not. I don't want to say, oh, I was disappointed. I was just like really surprised because
yeah, because of anything a controller, but maybe it'll come soon. Who knows? But yeah, I was a bit disappointed myself as well. I don't think that was really justice to it. And God of War is a huge,
yeah, it's one of their biggest.
huge.
It's one of their biggest
Yes.
properties, and so I don't know. I was just so imagine like I'm going through and I'm like, this is the house that became synonymous with adult driven, mature like games, your Resident Evil, your Tomb Raider, even though that was originally supposed to be Saturn's big thing, but I digress. Final Fantasy, like big, epic, grandiose, things. And it's so funny because I hear like a lot of Nintendo fans complaining about the Nintendo Directs, but they do such a better job, I find, than anyone.
Overall, they do. Yeah.
Like than anyone else. Like they know how to pace their stuff in such a way that you have like a little bit of a low, then boom, and a surprise, and a little bit of a low, and a boom, and a surprise. But every time I watch one of these state of plays, I'm almost always like, okay, like, come on, man. And then the
Yeah,
next
Sony.
thing, like, even the next thing that was announced was like, I was like, okay. They basically announced that Gran Turismo has sold 800 billion units, and like, there's a big update coming to Gran Turismo 7. That's it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. I was kind of disappointed. It's a Spec 3 announcement. So, yeah, I mean, you guys, if you're a fan of the series, it's obviously you're going to be happy. But yeah, it's just like they don't. Oh, there's going to be a game coming up actually that's going to be pretty substantial. But yeah,
Yeah, but it's just like, you look and you're like, Gran Turismo 7 came out 3 years ago
yeah, yeah.
on
But hey, at least they're
both
still supporting it,
platforms.
so that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. No, and it's not even like, for me, it's just not so much that. I think it's that flow that I'm talking about, where I was just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Now,
I think Nintendo just set the bar too high, and maybe I was expecting too
yeah,
much.
exactly. I think honestly, a lot of people expect every direct or every state of play to knock things out of the park, and that's just not going to be the case. But anyways, yeah, Gran Turismo fans will probably be happy with that. Now this other game, I was very surprised because Microsoft also announced it in their stuff about coming to Xbox. I'm a big, I love ASIM fans, as you all know. I talk about Dead by Daylight. Elphonics is one of my favorite ASIM developers. That's pretty much all they do. They do have some other games, but they don't really. They got Killer Clowns, love it. They got Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, which we had to play with Jared. We had Jared there, but he just never play. We want to get him to commit. There's Predator Hunting Grounds, really good game, to name a few. Now, their big announcement this year, and I think we talked about it in the podcast, was Halloween. It's another ASIM game coming out. We got the release date, guys, September 8th, 2026. So the good news is less than a year. The bad news is almost a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna. We all thought it was like Pegasus and I are big ASIM fans in our Discord, which you guys should be joining. We have the link on YouTube, but he was expecting Halloween Halloween, duh, right? But it's coming out a little bit before Halloween. So yeah, it's not quite a year away, but it's just still September 27th here of this recording. So it's almost a year. So not going to be out anytime soon. So they finally showed the first look and release date. They showed Michael Myers gameplay, which is going to be interesting. Some people are upset because they said Myers can't disappear. You guys, dude, it's a video game, right? I mean, come on. You have to. What they do in movies doesn't translate into video games, and what's done in video games doesn't translate to movies. It's two different totally different mediums, and you have to take it with a grain of salt as long as they keep its core identity, which they're going to do. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Elphonics. It's kind of interesting about Elphonics though. The IP owners of Halloween did make a statement, because let me give you a quick recap. Elphonics traditionally supports their games for about a year and a half of content, and then they stop and they move on to the next title, which most developers do. They don't really do a quote unquote live service game. They do kind of, I guess, what you would call a hybrid, kind of similar to Monster Hunter, right, where they have live updates and then after a while they stop and they release a new game in the series. So they're kind of like that, a little bit of a hybrid. You get content for about a year or so. But one of the requirements that the IP owners for Halloween told them was it needs to be supported long term. So quote unquote, what does long term mean? Does that mean 2 to 5 years, et cetera, et cetera? But anyways, I think this game is going to be huge for Elphonics. Elphonics tends to be kind of a little niche. Their games do okay. They don't do Dead by Daylight type. No one does in that genre. That's the problem. There's no real competition to make Dead by Daylight sweat. So it's going to be interesting. This game also has a full-fledged single-player story mode, which I think is going to bring in a lot of different type of people into this game. So I think between this and Microsoft doing that, Sony and Microsoft releasing all this press for it, I really think Halloween is going to do extremely well for Elphonic. I think it's going to be their best-selling game ever, and maybe we'll get a live service ASIM from them. Again, their history, though, they don't seem interested in that type of format because, like we said, it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of resources to keep a game going in live service, and they're not technically indie anymore, but they're not that big, guys. They're more of a smaller developer, but they're mid-size, I would say. They're not quite indie anymore. Yeah, what do you think about the Halloween
Yeah,
announcement?
no, I
I
mean,
know you're a Halloween fan.
yeah,
I know you don't.
no, it looked cool, but like by this point, we had already seen like a lot of different, like we already knew about this, so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Next, like that's
Because
the
yeah, because you're not a ASIM. No, but anyways, yeah, I agree. They just showed a little bit, but at least we got the release date.
yeah,
But
no, yeah,
again,
yeah,
we've talked about it many times, Jared. Is why announce a game and its release date so basically a year away,
yeah.
man? It just to me it just kills hype. But I don't know, each their own. These marketing experts know what they're doing. What are we to say, right?
Well,
The next,
do they know what they're doing?
no,
That's the real question.
yeah, this next game though is an expansion.
Yeah, but again, very cool, but
You didn't lost here, lost. Let's see.
Lost Epoch is, and they announced an expansion to it. There's nothing to say. Move on.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
it just watch the trailer. It doesn't really show much. It just shows some glimpses in VR. Lost a, so if you're into that, let it go. Now this is interesting. Let It Die Inferno.
yeah,
It's a roguelike survival action game coming out on December 3rd. So pretty few more months. What do you think about it?
yeah.
It's funny
Again,
because you have to.
it's these are all the things, man, where I was just like, okay, come on, come on, like get to something that I'll be interested in.
You're funny. Yeah. So anyway, it's violent. It requires a mature and it looks interesting. But anyways, yeah. Uh check out the thing, guys. The foot gameplay footage and see if it's something up your alley.
Okay,
Yeah. Let It Die.
before you talk about the next one, don't talk about the next one. Okay, don't
Okay.
leave that to last because it was the last thing they talked about. I don't know
It
why
was,
they're showing it, so we'll do the rest and we'll come back to that.
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, they put it out of order. Anyways, so we'll talk about that next. Next up is Microsoft's Flight Simulator 2024 is coming out on December 8th. So this series is actually extremely well done. They actually use Google Maps or whatever it is, so you can literally, Jared, fly to your house.
Yeah,
And you'll
yeah,
see your
yeah.
house. So yeah, very good flight simulator. It's been a steady, rock steady series for Microsoft, and it's coming on. It'll be on everything now, so it's coming to PlayStation 5. So yeah, if you guys are into that kind of game, you know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Next,
And now
see
this one,
this
how do you pronounce this name?
Neo. It's Neo 3.
Neo 3.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this,
it's
so
a-
this, so here, Tim, like so far of all the announcements that you've said, of all the games you showed, this is the first one that feels like a PlayStation game.
Really?
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
familiar
because
with-
all the rest feel like North American games, feel like
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
PC
very
games.
anime. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
This
this-
is definitely. I'm looking. Yeah,
This
yeah, I agree with you.
feels like an actual PlayStation game, and it's like we're almost done, guys. Like
And it comes out February 6th.
Yeah, this will be a big hit for Koei Tecmo for sure. If you guys know anything about Neo, it's an action RPG series. It's tough as nails. Like for sure, you'll like it. After that, they talked a little bit about like PlayStation Plus, which it doesn't
Yeah.
matter honestly.
Oh,
Who
there's
cares?
some good like The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be available on it.
Yeah, honestly,
Actually,
if
it's
you
out
don't
now.
have The Last of Us Part 1 or Part 2 by now, I'm like shocked. If you're if you own a PlayStation and you're even remotely interested, you already own those games.
And then next month they have Alan Wake 2 Goat Simulator 3, which is interesting. And Cocoon. And then
I'm telling you
yeah,
guys, like for me, I swear, I was just like,
Oh!
okay, move, next.
yeah, Tekken and Soul Calibur 3. Interesting. Next. Oh, that's coming up in Tomb Raider. Okay, anyways. Also PlayStation wireless speakers if you're into that. And then we talked about it earlier at the beginning of the podcast. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds out. I don't know how it runs. The PC's complaining about lag. So if you have, I tell you, man, PC, you could tell with these console ports that the developers don't take the time to optimize for PC. It's tough, though. It's tough. Saras is also coming out. I don't know what this game is.
No, that is another big PlayStation game. That's
Yeah.
a big one because that's from House Marquee.
It looks
or
actually
House
really
Mark.
good.
and yeah, like these guys, this is gonna be good. This
Oh yeah,
is like
yeah,
Returnal. It's the same kind of
yeah.
concept as Returnal, which is pretty cool because it's like a shmup, but in third person in a
Yep, it
3D
looks
space,
good.
which is really cool. Well, Returnal was great, so if it's anything like that, this is probably going to be their biggest hit of early next year.
Yep, it comes out in March 20th, guys, for PlayStation 5, and it looks really good.
Yeah,
Kind of
no, that's good. So far you realize we're at like two games that actually feel like PlayStation games.
yeah. Well, what about Sonic Racing? Does that
No,
feel like
that's
a?
fine. That's fine, but it was just they were just like they're talking about just DLC. They're not talking,
Oh,
you
okay,
know,
okay.
like like that should have been part of like a sizzle reel type of thing. And the next two games that you're going to talk about, it's the same idea.
Yeah, no, this one looks kind of cool. I'm not a fan of its cute. Anyways, let's the Seven Deadly Sins
Dun,
Origin.
dun, dun.
Yeah, so it's anime visuals. It appears to be like it's next out to the 28th of January. So on PlayStation 5, it. I mean, what is it classified as? It's an animated, a
It's a
manga
free
anime.
to play open world RPG.
Yeah,
Next,
yeah,
that's
you're
all you
right.
got to
It's
say when
just
you see
yeah, that's what it
free
is. Yeah.
to play.
Then you definitely
Moving
skip it,
along.
guys. All right, so next up we have an official gameplay trailer of Zero. What was it? Parasites or
Parasites,
Parasite? Sorry,
parodies,
parodies of
zero
Parasites
parodies. The
and the
for dead
four dead
spies.
spies, and that's it's a narrative espionage RPG by
Yeah,
Disco.
this is
Oh,
very.
yes, this is the developer of Disco Elysium is extremely good. So this is. Let me see if this is. Oh yeah, yeah. It looks very. Yeah, it looks very much like their first game, and their first game was extremely good, guys. Disco. So let me see if it can come from PC because I'm definitely gonna add this to my list. But anyways, that is I think pretty. It is. Yep. Good. Good. It's not exclusive. Yeah. This one is. Their first game is pretty much one of the top games of the year that came out. I think it was a contender for game of the year. So anyway, Disco Elysium was really good, and then this one should definitely follow its lead. All right, that is it, Jared. Now the next,
Yeah.
the last, Marvel Wolverine is coming fall again, basically a year away because September's fall, 2026. So it is an original take on the beloved Marvel character. And take a look, guys. It is not. It's going to definitely be 17 plus because it is a very
Yeah, so
game.
this is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, the trailer looks like quite badass. They took the property in a very mature direction. I mean, you can rip people apart, all kinds of stuff. Like some of the reaction videos on YouTube are actually quite humorous because people are like, "Oh my god!" and stuff. But the thing that surprised me was like how hard of an M rating this is going to get. And that surprised me, man. Like that really surprised me because remember that at least for now, this is a PS5 exclusive
game.
made by one of Sony's studios, just like Spider-Man was made by one of the same studio. And so I was really surprised that this was going to be such a hard M rated game because
it's 17 plus.
That limits your sales quite significantly.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does. So well, I don't know, man. Do parents even?
No, but it's not. It's not. It's you just look at the numbers, right? Like if I go in right now and I'm like, how much has Spider-Man sold on Sony? Whatever. Okay, so 38 million copies have been sold. There's no way they will achieve that level of success with an M-rated game. Like the most now, of course, hold on. I can already hear you all typing. I am well aware that Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption and all of those games have sold 500 trillion copies, some of the highest selling games of all time. I get it. I get it. But those properties are adult properties. Wolverine and the associated materials typically around Wolverine are
Our
not,
teens.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, are
They're
not
teens.
M rated. So I'm shocked that Marvel allowed them to do that. Like I was like, wow, good for you guys, man.
Yeah, they're kind of venturing more into that, especially with the. I wonder. I don't know if the Deadpool movie success has anything to do with this because these games are in development for years. It's not like they pulled that out of their ass. So yeah, I'm surprised it will limit sales, but I think it'll be okay. It looks beautiful, and there is a chance that it'll eventually come for the PC, but it
Oh
won't
no,
be
no, for
anytime
sure
soon.
will. Like 100%.
Yeah, but not
That
anytime soon.
100%. And honestly, like with all the rumors that Horizon Zero Dawn is about to hit the Xbox, it certainly looks like this is
Oh yeah, it will.
like
It will come because Horizon, thinking of which, is on PC. It's God of War's on PC. Uh, Days Gone. There was another Sony exclusive is on PC, so it will eventually come. It just won't be any. It'll probably be if it's not that Wolverine's out next year, so we're probably looking at 2027 at the earliest, maybe 2028. So, anyways, it'll be probably within a year or two after the release. But you're right, dude. Jared, Sony's been getting a lot of success on PC, and they're not going to stop. Now it's just
yeah,
money.
no, and if those
it,
rumors are true about Xbox, then the console war is legitimately over. Like
yeah, PC
like
doesn't affect you. It's not competition for you. It's a different market, different demographics.
yeah, exactly. But like
it's not going to hurt your sales.
The minute we start seeing like PlayStation and Xbox like going like that, like releasing their
Oh,
content,
then it's over, dude.
like,
the only
yeah,
one that's
it's just
still,
the only thing that has me a little bit like question mark is where do gamers buy their console? Like if all games are going to get released all over the place, then there's literally no like why buy a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC? Like why I don't know. That's the only question mark
Jared,
I have.
I've told this to you for the years. I think the gaming market should be about software, not hardware. Meaning, I've always wanted to be one platform, in the software developers duke it out to earn your money by making optimal, amazing content. That's what I've always wanted because it's ridiculous that, like I said, Wolverine. I want to play that. I have to wait a couple of years, or I don't know.
But
Maybe
I don't think so though, dude. Seriously, like, well, that's what we're gonna see, right? Let's
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see because if that rumor is true and you are gonna end up getting, because PC, I've always been like, okay, but like we've talked about that. It's not the same market as console. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's a different market. But the minute console manufacturers start to release their stuff on other platforms, you have lost the reason to.
We've discussed, yeah, exactly. We discussed it many times. It's like, didn't Steven, I believe Steven said, and Ahmad said too, that's like, where's the incentive for, like, let's use an example. What if Mario Kart World, you remember that comment that Steven said, oh, if Mario Kart World came out on the PC, I wonder which version I would buy. I wonder, Jared. Honestly, I would probably still buy the Switch 2 version because of the Pro controller, and two, it'll most likely have the most user base as well. Because I don't trust them.
Yeah,
I don't think they would do cross-platform.
That should be going though. I'm not talking about Mario. I'm saying like because like Nintendo got it right. Obviously, like they were like, screw you. We're staying exclusive to ourselves, and we're just gonna sell so many copies that you're not gonna have a choice but to release your stuff on our platform.
Yeah, that's old. Yeah, and it still works for them. So
well, yeah, exactly. Good. But the thing, I mean, we've talked about this. The budgets, the like, all that kind of stuff is what's changing. That's why Microsoft and Sony are looking at different things, because it's like this game Wolverine. They're like, this is gonna have to sell like a ridiculous amount of units to be profitable.
Okay, now you remember we keep talking about, we've talked many times about prices, and like I said, Grand Theft Auto 6, if it's true that game's over $1 billion put it in retrospect, $1 billion to make. They have no choice but to sell it for $100, man. There's no way.
Well, dude,
if they
just
sold
that,
it-
just that, right? That's
Yeah,
100 million
there's-
copies they have to sell.
Yeah, yeah. There's no way
So
that
here.
they can make their money back if they don't sell it at a premium price.
What is it? Here. So, hold on. Okay, so blah 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 blah. Okay, with what is it? It's 5, right?
Yep.
Okay. 215 million copies have been sold of Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's a shit ton, dude.
Yeah, and it's 6 is expected to do 40 million in its first 24 hours. But that's not enough.
That isn't enough. At $100, guys, that's still not enough.
That's still not
Dude,
enough. If that's
Do you
if,
remember, Jared? You remember back in the day we talked about it back in the NES, Super NES, N64 era, etc. That if your game got 1 million, that was the golden mecca. You're happy now.
Dude,
1 million's like,
dude,
really? That's it?
ActRaiser and games like that, 100,000, and it was considered
Yes!
like a worldwide success.
Yes, guys, that's what the difference is. How times have changed. And
But to be
ActRaiser's
fair,
believe-
but to be fair, the industry
such
has
a great
grown.
game.
The industry,
Oh,
has
yeah,
grown substantially. But this is why, like, guys like Steven, and he's right. Like, this is why he's saying, like, if you look at the per hour, or even if you don't do that, if you just look at our industry compared to any other entertainment-based industry, ours is still by far the cheapest. The cheapest to get into.
Exactly, and I told you that I told you I'm a little picky with single player games, not because I don't like them. It's just because
no, but that's for you.
I have
right?
that
like
rule.
That's your...
I have my rule of 1 hour per dollar. So if I spend $20, I expect to get at minimum 20, and anything over that for a single player game is cherry on top. That's just I don't believe your Resident Evil's 10 to 15 hours. I'm not exaggerating. That's about how they are, unless they've drastically changed the last couple.
Yeah, exactly.
Releases.
It's just
you don't get that much gameplay.
But that's for you, right? But
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
okay plunking $30 or 25 to go see an hour and 50-minute movie.
Well, I'm not really into the movies like I used to. I only see the big blockbusters now with my friends, and I watch everything on.
You get what I'm saying?
But no, you're right. Yeah, exactly.
And if you go, if we go back in time, Super Mario Brothers 3, the one I always use, right? It's only because I have the box with the price on it. It's the only reason I use that game.
You have it with you?
No, I don't. I have my Dragon. Wait a minute. Let's see if my Dragon Warrior games. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I'm turning on the light. Let's see. Do these have? Here's Dragon Warrior 1.
I kind of wish they kept that name.
Dragon
I actually
Warrior.
liked it.
Dragon Warrior 2. This one though, like I don't know if you can even see, but it's like, can you see? It's actually sealed. Yeah. Like I kept it in its original cellophane. Well, it's not sealed, but in Dragon Warrior 4, but there's no sticker.
I
Sorry,
used to
guys.
love the art for the Dragon Warrior series in North America. I wish they kind of did that again, but they're not going to.
Hey, speaking of which, you guys want to see something kind of cool? About what, 25, 30 years in the making? What I'm about to show you? See what this is?
Ooh, the mark. Oh, Eardrick. Oh, what is this anime?
So this is a manga that was released. It's like literally like Japanese. You read it like opposite than what we read it now. So like you start at the back and you go right to left instead of left to right.
I wonder why they did that.
Well, they kept it like the original thing, but I'm wrong with the years, guys, but this is like 35 years it took to translate this to English. So that's awesome. Like I picked up the first volume just got released, which was that was really like super cool. But anyways, going back to what I was trying to say with the whole thing with Super Mario, is that was $99 when movies were $4.50.
Yeah.
And now video games are cheaper and movies are like
More
five
expensive.
times
Yeah.
what they were.
Way more expensive.
So that's the thing, like that's always the problem. I actually went on a whiteboard because I was having a conversation with a colleague of mine at work, and I put all the launch prices of PlayStations and what the copy of like how much the games were at that time. And when he looked at it, he was like, "Okay, I get it." I'm like, "Yeah, we got spoiled. They kept the price of games the same for decades, and we all got super spoiled." But a lot of people are saying that Nintendo's the only company that will be able to save the video game industry by doing what they're doing. Because
Yeah. So, Sony, was it the one of the Sony people or the Monster Hunter people?
yeah, it was Capcom.
I should have got
It
the.
was
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
Capcom.
Capcom. He said that they're what they're doing is good. Now there's a bit of a flashback from the gamers because everyone thinks from the consumer
No, of
perspective, but they don't
course.
see for the business perspective. Yeah, he says they're doing a lot of good things by doing this, like the $80 game, et cetera, et cetera. Which, by the way, I'm surprised that I read a comment the Pokemon reveal about the DLC. Some YouTuber was saying Nintendo's greed. They do whatever they want for views. I'm not saying they're not greedy, but that's not the point. And they said, well, she goes, well, I'm surprised that the new Pokemon X and whatever it is, Z and A, whatever it's called, is not $80 because they know, she said they would sell like hotcakes at $80. She's surprised Nintendo.
Yeah, but again, you keep saying Nintendo. That's not Nintendo's decision. That's the thing.
Again, they still a good majority owner. They
yeah,
do
but it's
have
a separate
influence
company. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I understand that. But you don't think that they have any influence on there at all?
No. It's so funny, people. It's like it's a separate company. They are one of the shareholders and guaranteed like on their board and whatever. But like it's an independent
I see. Yeah, so I keep
company.
forgetting about that. That the board members are not actively running the company.
No, exactly. It's
Anymore.
its own
But
company.
They do flex their muscles when issues arise.
Of course.
That's when they start. Oh, we need change now. You do this, and it trickles down.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, I haven't told Steven this yet, so this might be the first time he hears this if he makes it all the way through. This, the reason why we all say that, right, of like Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, is just because they're synonymous with each other, right? Because all games are exclusive to Nintendo, but that's not even where they make their money, guys. They make their money on the merchandising.
Yeah. People forget that the games are just the facet or fuel, whatever you wanted to drive it. That's why they want to release these Pokemon at a very fast pace, because the more merchandise they have, new Pokemon they introduce, the more merchandise. Yeah, the games that
the games sell.
Like, they make good money.
Yeah, they make good money, but it's not
pales.
Exactly.
It pales comparison to the merch.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars.
Well, that's kind of true on most of anything, right?
Exactly. It's like like Star Wars. Everybody back in the day, like today, people are like, how did George Lucas convince the studio to give him 100% of the merchandising rights to Star Wars? Like, how did they do that? And I'm like, guys, because before Star Wars, nobody did that. It was Lucas's brilliant idea of like, he wanted to make money. So he was like, put that S on everything. He's like friggin' lunch boxes and you name it.
Yeah, he had foresight because it kind of is a risk, right? Because if it flopped and didn't sell, he wouldn't have made money. But
he didn't. It's because he didn't make that much money off the original movies. So he was like, well, I have all the merchandising rights, so I'm going to milk the living crap out of this.
Oh, and they did back.
I know they did.
Did. I don't know if they do now, but
back to Steven here, because this is important for you. There was a really big screw up that I don't know if it's if I don't think it's Nintendo, because like I said, it's a separate company, but basically they released the 2 starter Pokemon, shiny versions of the 2 starter Pokemon for Violet and Scarlet, exclusive to GameSpot, okay? But the boneheads like, like the little vouchers where you walk in and you just say, hey, I'm here for like a Pokemon voucher or whatever, and they give you a little voucher. I used to go for Steven all the time. I just, because there's one like close to my house. So I
I've
went.
done that for Steven a couple times too, because
Yeah.
of GameStop. But
So
I don't think I didn't know they still do that shit.
yeah, they do. But these boneheads put it at the exact release of, I guess it was an expansion or something for the trading card game. So, dude, there were like 400 people at GameStop, and all of, because they were giving the vouchers to every person that walked in. So they're all gone, man. They're
Not
selling on eBay
good.
for like $60.
No, it's not worth it.
Like, that's ridiculous. I was like, okay, like, so yeah, I haven't had like, I just keep forgetting to text him to let him know that like he's just shit out of luck. Like, I couldn't believe that. I was like, guys, don't do that, because those douchebags that are waiting in line, a lot of them are just scalpers that want to buy the cards to sell the cards. And you, by default, gave every one of them one of those vouchers. So then they got a double whammy of money, because then they could sell them online. I was like, man, that sucks.
Oh yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah, that was, whoever idea that was to release both those things at the exact same time. That was just stupid. So yeah, sorry, Steven. You are just like, you're out of luck, my man.
Out of luck. And
So-
before we continue back to Dragon Quest, to FYI, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake on Steam is on 35% off.
Oh,
so,
dude, buy that.
yeah,
buy
buy it,
that.
guys. US, it's $38.99 USD. It ends in 44 hours and 18 minutes
Yeah,
and 30
buy
seconds.
that.
as
Buy
this
that,
recording.
guys. That.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. So I guess the last couple of minutes, I'll just give you guys some updates. There's quite a lot. If you are a Dragon Quest fan right now, I just gotta say, guys, like, what do the young kids say? The cool kids, you're eating well, or whatever it is that
Well, I think a lot are low key good, or
Like-
a lot of them say low key.
whatever the case may be, guys. Like, I never imagined we would see this day.
Yeah, yeah.
Ever. Like, I
Yeah,
just never.
Yeah, I agree with you, and definitely take advantage of
So,
a sale. I wonder if it's on sale on Switch.
but I got
could
a lot
check.
of stuff to tell you guys. So, Dragon Quest 1 and 2.
Are you doing that? I'll check. while
Dragon
you're doing
Quest
that.
1 and 2 HD 2D remake. I know it got a little bit like sideswiped by Dragon Quest 7 Reimagine's announcement, but guys, like, I mean, if you like role-playing games, I can't stress this enough, guys, like, buy Dragon Quest 1 and 2. It is sounding like this could be one of the greatest remakes ever done. Like, they are going hardcore, Tim. Like,
Oh yeah. And just checked, 35% off on Nintendo. There's no time indicator on it, at least for my see, $38.99. Quick thing: which version would you buy if you had a choice? Switch, well, it's a Switch game. Switch version or the PC? I don't think the PC would really.
you're not
it
okay.
any-
So whoa. If you buy the Switch version and you play it on your Switch 2, it has a free update which will give you. It's identical to PC, PlayStation.
Okay,
It's
so
identical.
definitely the Switch. Okay, all right. Just think about that, guys. If you haven't done it, and you have a Switch.
Oh, I'm so yeah. So listen, everybody, listen up. Pick up Dragon Quest 3 and just play the game, okay? Like for 2 seconds. Like just turn it on. Okay, I'm talking to you, Mister, who's got a controller in his hand.
Oh yeah, you see it.
Just turn it on. Just, I don't care what you do. Just like turn it on, save your game, and you never have to play it again. Because
Really? Why?
Because you'll unlock a bunch of cool stuff in Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So make sure you actually like just play the game for 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter. But here's the cool thing. Yuji Horii actually did a video where he played the first 40 minutes. Well, it wasn't him. It was like a podcast thing. He was there. And guys, I love what they are doing with this. So you have to remember, like, when Dragon Quest, this one, originally got released, they had no idea, right? like they had no idea that this was going to become some phenomenon and all of that. And the story behind that, one day we should talk about that, because it's actually a huge conflict of interest. Just so you know, it's a massive conflict of interest, because Dragon Quest bombed when it came out in Japan. It bombed.
What?
Yeah,
I
and
didn't know that.
yeah, Yuji Horii was
thought it was a
working for like Shonen Jump or one of those magazines, and he was an animator or like a columnist, and he started talking about his own game, and that's what made it a huge success. Like
wow.
it's kind of like a little sketchy.
It just shows you how it changed. You have to also remember we should do a Dragon Quest podcast, mostly focus on Dragon Quest or like our favorite RPG. We should actually do that once in a while when news are slow. Jared will like do a theme like our favorite RPGs and focus on like Dragon Quest and others, and our favorite action games, etc. I was gonna say is how times have changed, because nowadays games, any kind of famous animator, they promote it from day one, right? And a lot of people, I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if you guys are really a lot of us old school people know, but the young generation don't realize that Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest at the time, Dragon Warrior here at the time was inspired by your traditional D&D kind of board game text based RPGs. Yep. So that was Square's paying homage or respect towards it, their take on it, and just things totally changed. Well, people don't know that
the 2-second version of it is like Ultima, and those early like D&D games on PC were hyper complex, like hyper complex. And when Yuji Horii, when he started to like think of like how to go about doing this, he was like, because originally it was going to be on PC. Anyway, it's a whole long story, but when it eventually went to like Famicom, they were like, okay, well, we got 2 buttons, no keyboard, no nothing. What do we do? And it was that limitation that actually led to basically every RPG we have today in gaming comes from that. Like Dragon Quest was not the first RPG, but it was the first RPG that introduced like what you would consider the modern day mechanics. And at the time, it was completely revolutionary because...
Yeah, but you see, that's what I tell you, Jared. The young generation today, gamers, they're not spoiled. They're so spoiled because everything's done is just refinement, enhancements, evolutions or evolving what's already been done. But we experienced the real pioneering of video games, man.
I know. Like,
and no generation will ever experience that. I mean, maybe
you'll never
VR, maybe.
But it will never be exactly the same, Okay, but we're running out of time, and I really want to say a couple of these things. So, one of the things with Dragon Quest, excluding the history and all of this sort of stuff, you are a standalone hero. There was reasons for that. Most of it was technical reasons why you were a little dude instead of a party. Because from day one, they wanted to do a party. But now that they're going back, with Dragon Quest 3, this guy over here, they only touched it a little bit. Because it was pretty much the game that Yuji Horii wanted to make. You know what I mean? Like, there were a couple limitations and stuff like that, but more or less, it was the game that he wanted to make. But these two were not at all, and he never had a chance to go back and add in what he wanted to add in until now.
And that's why I think you're right. We have to play.
No, you've got to play this, dude. The opening, I won't spoil it, but like Erdrick, okay, or Lotol, however you want to pronounce him, he is a legendary hero, right? Like, who stopped like the great evil, brought peace to the land, and blah blah blah. And you are playing as his descendant, and I never understood why you weren't like some ultimate badass. You know what I mean? Like I understood, obviously, because they didn't know they were going to make part 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 9 and whatever. But now they went back, and so like everyone looks at him like, oh damn, you're like, you're a
Yeah,
descendant of,
yeah.
and so it's super
that's
cool.
cool.
It's super
And
cool.
that's cool.
Wait,
Yeah, it's definitely.
I won't spoil the intro, but it's freaking awesome. Like they
You'll
make
yeah.
him to be a total badass before you even play. And I was
Now,
like,
there's some
this
things
is
though about the
awesome.
well, I'm looking forward, but I hope that certain things they don't get rid of. Like I did even though I mean it's dated the first game Dragon Quest One, but I did like going to that Against That Greed Dragon because I was streaming it at the time. Hey guys, let's go. Let's see how it goes. And got one shot, and I'm like, oh, okay. And that game was tough. And you
Yeah,
remember I was
yeah.
playing the Switch version, which is based on the mobile version,
Yeah.
which is watered down
Yeah,
version.
yeah.
But one thing I loved about Dragon Quest One, man, was the fact that one, it didn't hold your hand. Two, that's a subject to talk about how modern games just hold hands. We just talked about it recently. But anyways, it didn't hold your hand and you felt the leveling, dude. You felt, okay, now I can go back and take on those effing skeletons that were mocking me for so long.
Yeah.
See, and remember, I'm playing Dragon Quest 1 years after its prime.
Yeah, yeah.
When things have drastic, and I still enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so
man.
imagine I
Yeah,
probably
no,
would have
dude.
loved it
I'm
back
telling
in the
you.
PS day.
I'm telling you, play this game because I
I
know
will,
I know
Garrett.
like there's so many games that are coming out like at the end, like in the next couple of weeks. It's insane.
Oh, dude, October's packed.
I know, but I'm telling
Yeah.
everyone, I'm like, I am begging you guys, if you don't play it in October, please, man, like November or December over the holidays, like, don't let this slip by because this is gonna set the stage for everything that's coming. So Yuji Horii let it slip in one of his interviews after Dragon Quest VII Reimagined was unveiled that they're remaking all of the series and that
Including 9?
all of them, and that they're all coming to
Wow.
modern platforms, but they're doing it slightly different for
What
each
about
one.
10?
Well, 10 is still live,
No.
so
Yeah,
like,
okay.
but with 7,
People.
there's something important with 7 that I just want to say. So like they've cut a couple of the scenarios. I don't have the list with me, but it's not important. Like they're more of the lesser scenarios, but they're adding different scenarios, which is kind of cool. But something important that is kind of sad, I find, they've cut, and they will always cut. Dragon Quest XI will go down in history as the last Dragon Quest game with a casino. There will never be a casino ever again.
Why?
Because of
gambling,
Europe.
right?
So in Europe, it is now illegal to have a digital casino or gambling because if you do, it has to be aimed at the real life casino age, meaning 21 or 18 years old.
Oh,
and
that's
if you
kind of sad.
and if you put it in a video game, it means that you have to have like an X-rated game, like an 18,
Oh,
not
not
M.
good.
It
No,
would
they're
be
not going to
18.
do that. They're
No,
not
of
gonna
course
do that,
not.
right?
So they cut the.
If you guys on our channel watch my Dragon Quest 11 playthrough I did years ago, God, it's been like 2019, dude. Anyway, it's been a while. I did a Cranberry Roll. Remember, I actually did enjoy the casino part and going in there. I spent how many hours in there, so I know it wasn't fun to watch for you guys, but yeah, I was kind of sad.
It is kind of sad, and
yeah,
and
it's kinda sad.
I was like, because I saw that it was cut, and I was like, I knew it was cut for sure. And it's funny because right now, guys, I'm doing a video for you of I'm playing Dragon Quest VII on PlayStation and Dragon Quest VII on the 3DS, and I'm gonna do a video comparing
Then
the
for
two.
the Switch too.
Like, yeah, well, what I'm doing, the video is going to compare those two versions together and then talk about what could be, even though we know what's cut, but like what are some of the refinements that I would add based on this. And you can really see the games are starting to do this. Like they're really starting to do this.
Well,
so like on the PS1 version, I'm at like 22 hours. And I'm actually further in the 3DS version, and I'm at 14 hours. So you can really see it starting.
But just not so much spoilers, but do you think the changes are good overall? Do you like them or no?
That they made for the 3DS?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, good. Because I don't want.
There's
I don't
only
want them to
one
lose their
problem.
core identity, dude.
There's only one problem that is kind of funny, is that I am fighting way more in the 3DS one than I did in the original one. And the original one had random encounters, and the 3DS one does not. But I can explain it. In the 3DS one, the hallways are super narrow. So when the enemy appears, and he almost always appears right in front of your face, there's no invincibility. You know how normally, like, when your character is hit, you have like a few seconds where you can like go through them or not get hit again. As soon as a battle is over, like the second a battle is over, if there's another enemy and you will instantly trigger another fight, which is interesting because Dragon Quest X does not have that. So in Dragon Quest X, when you're finished a battle, you can actually walk through the next enemy. Like, they give you a good like 3 seconds before it'll trigger again.
I wonder why they did that.
I don't know why they did it. I almost feel like it was like an error, like a coding error, that they didn't have like a delay. So I'm actually more frustrated with the 3DS remake than the original.
I know what you mean, dude. It's like when you're in Pokemon, if you run out of your little gas, I don't know what they're called, repellent. You spray repellent. Yeah. You're trying to get through a freaking level to get through the, and oh my god, another battle. Oh, again. I know exactly what you mean.
But it's so weird because like on the PlayStation original, it was all random encounters, but the encounter rate was not that high. Like I could go through almost an entire floor of a dungeon and maybe get attacked twice, whereas on the 3D one, I actually counted. So in one area, I had 2 battles on the PlayStation, and I had 16. 16. Oh, yeah, I know.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's so funny.
I got 16 on the 3DS one. That's a huge difference, but the 3DS one is so much quicker because the maps are shorter. And well, not all, but some of the maps are just a little bit condensed. And the thing that really makes the biggest change of all is the map. The fact that you have that second screen when you go into a dungeon, you can see where the stairs are. That is night and day different compared to the original PlayStation one where you're blind, right? So you're aimlessly walking around trying to figure out like where to go. So anyways, that's for the video. I just wanted to let you guys know about the casino stuff because that's really unfortunate for me because ironically enough, we're talking about this. In the game, I'm actually in the casino in both versions.
That's so funny.
It's funny.
That's so cool. Yeah, there's I forgot. I think it's in Norway or Denmark. One of those countries in Europe have outlawed loot boxes in video games.
It's the same thing.
So.
No, that's the same thing. So loot box, any gambling, any digital gambling is now sort of like outlawed. It's not.
I kind of wish that. I wish it'd come to North America. Man.
Yeah, it's just the casino thing. I was like,
it's
man,
sad. Come on, dude. It's just something.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, you're brainwashing children to real life gambling."
What are they going to do? Outlaw casino maps where you have no? They probably won't care then if it's just a map. You're walking through a Vegas map, as long as you don't interact with the gambling. They probably won't care.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Next thing you know, you can't have maps in the casinos. Yeah. So
I don't know. I was just disappointed because like if you guys have ever played a Dragon Quest with a casino, you know that like it's actually worth playing.
Yeah, it is.
Because you get like you can get a ton of cash, you can get a ton of items, more items than money per se. But like if you win like 1 million tokens, you can buy super expensive gear and sell it for like 10,000-20,000 gold.
Yeah, that was a way of making money if I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I just did. That's literally what I just did is like so I bought like all of the different, gear that you could buy. And away you go. And it took me like, I don't know, 40 minutes. Like it wasn't even that long. So it's going to be interesting to see like, what they do now. And I can tell you right now, like 10, I can tell everybody 10 is never leaving Japan ever because we're too culturally the game is too culturally insensitive in certain aspects now that like they would get in trouble if they released it outside of Japan. There's casino, there's a whole friggin' island of gambling and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think the nail's in the coffin for that one, guys. Like I think unless 10 gets completely remade, which makes no
What
sense
about the
considering.
single player version though? That might come out, right? You remember?
Yeah, but the casino's still in it. The all the
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. Anyways, okay, we gotta go. So
All right.
I'm down though to talk about like our favorite action games, RPGs,
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
because
That
when
could
it's
be
slow,
cool.
because who knows if there's going to be any news this coming week. And
Well,
then
and it's gonna
we,
slow down, right? Like the
yeah,
rest of the
yeah.
year is gonna start to slow down. Okay,
All right,
perfect.
guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Later.